Hi everyone, this is Menz here. I'm going to be playing the Tier 3 American Light Tank, the MTLS-1G14, which it's currently an unreleased premium tank. It's been unreleased for years now. I don't know if they're ever going to put it in, but it's primarily because it's a little unbalanced. It could be balanced around nerfing the gun a little bit or maybe bumping it up a tier or something like that. However, as you see, it has two guns, and both of them do work. You have a 37mm dual automatic cannon, and as you see here, it's pretty insane as far as the gun stats go, except for the accuracy is a little bit low. However, the penetration's good. Damage per shot's okay for a tier 3. However, 10 shells in one magazine, and you'll see that both guns actually do fire, which you can't fire one at a time. They both fire basically at the same time, essentially, and it's a lot of firepower for a tier 3. Now, it doesn't have limited matchmaking as far as my knowledge goes, so against tier 4s and 5s it does struggle a little bit, but for those matches that it's against tier 2s and a lot of tier 3s, it can really put out a lot of damage, unless if they pretty much focus fire you down. And a lot of people do kind of focus on this tank because it's a rare tank. You hardly ever see them at all, so it's just something to keep in mind. And due to its large size, people will be firing at you. Its armor is not terrible for a tier 3. It's nothing special though, because it doesn't really have many angles to it. So I'm going to be heading south here, just because more likely that's where most tanks are going to be, and also I can fight a little closer up. Seems like most of my team is heading north, which I'm just waiting for this guy to pass me. Just looking at the as you see there, both of the guns actually do fire, which is pretty much unheard of in World of Tanks. And yeah, unfortunately our team is rushing the middle. So I'm going to try to bump out here, basically where I'm pointing over to the left. Let's just keep on going here. Don't want to put myself in a spot to have somebody rush me like that, because I can pretty much kill anything in a head-on fight. I just need to prevent myself from getting overwhelmed, and that's why the tank is not released. It's completely overpowered. Hello, little tank. Just need to keep in mind I don't have a ton of penetration to work with, but he's probably going to repair himself before, yeah, I actually get to him. So you keep moving around a little bit so the arties don't hit me. And then let's go after his LT. But the thing, basically, if you don't put yourself in a spot to get shot by a lot of tanks, you can one-clip 1 to 2 tanks per autoloader round. Hello, Mr. Chiha. So I wanted to make sure there wasn't any tank destroyers back there. I do have to keep in mind that there are tanks in the north that are doing decent and still in the middle. I'm aware. I'm just slowly moving up. It's like I might die, but it's a low tier battle. You have a little bit more wiggle room. There you are. Goodbye. Let's just wait a little bit. He's got 5% health. So, oh shit. Didn't know that I was being spotted like that. Let's just move back here and wait for this martyr to come around. Looked like he was pushing pretty hard, but he might have stopped. Oop, there he is. But this tank at tier 3 is definitely overpowered. I was judging on where there might be an enemy tank to my left, but most likely they're all up north. But it would be nice if they would add dual cannon guns to the game, or multiple cannon guns. That would be awesome. But I fear that until then this tank's not going to see the light of day. And I'm not too upset about that because it is pretty unbalanced here. I just am playing it to make videos for people curious to see it. But I do feel a little bad playing it because you stand absolutely no chance against this thing if it's pointing its gun at you. And this last little tank should be up here. Kind of surprised he's actually playing. No, leave him for me. Darn. Oh well. I think 7 kills is enough, don't you think? Alright, so got a Ace Tanker award. Granted, a lot of people don't play this. Cool, had it. Top Gun. Experience-wise, I almost broke 1,000 damage and 1,000 experience. And then I blocked a bit of damage since, as you see here for tier 3, its armor is not terrible, especially on the sides and rear. But the flat parts are weak spots, and it's covered by a lot of viewports, which, since it's an old model, sometimes when you hit these, it can cause 0 damage crits. And the guns, since they're dual guns, hitting both of them will also do no damage a lot of times. But let's just hop into another battle here and see what happens with this. Alright, so a little bit of different matchup here. Still more tier 3s now, but the main thing with this, maps like this, is not too great for it because you're fighting at longer ranges, and also it gives those tank destroyers that have pretty nasty guns on them at tier 3 and the low tiers, they can 1 to 2 shot you, a better chance at hitting you before you get close enough to use your gun. So I'm going to focus on the right side of the map, I believe.
Let's get this show on the road.
It's just a lot different playing at low tiers because oftentimes people will rush out and not exactly play as smart as if you're at tier 5 and above. Which, smart's probably not a good word because everyone knows how high tier matches can be at sometimes, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to focus on plopping myself towards the town. There's a decent amount of cover. I can fire to the hill, I can fire to my left. I'm just going to hold back for now. I don't want to push out and do anything completely retarded just yet. I'm going to wait for my teammates to get on the hill first. I can set up a little bit over here. And never mind. Here comes a... He's gone. So now time to back up before something decides to point at me. Okay, there's somebody on the hill, but at low tiers it's very difficult to actually hit people on the hill because it's so short. Yeah, I was about to say they better get that T-82 out. There's two. Just gonna wait another second till I reload, then I'm gonna start pushing up. Do I see that? Yep, yes I do. I see him. He's not gone, but he's hurting. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, in its current state, it's very good that they decided not to release this tank in any which way, because it's pretty overpowered if you play it correctly. You just don't get yourself in trouble and you can obliterate everything in your path. Hello, little PZ2G. Sorry, but you're gone. Just duck behind him in case if that already shot me. There's no arty there still. They took out the bison and they took out that guy, so there's only the medium left. It would be nice if they turned on the advanced minimap, like locations and all that by default, but for a lot of people, I think newer players, they kind of don't realize that they should turn that on to show always instead of the never option. So a little bit more of a average game in this thing. Still a decent amount of damage and overall pretty good, but this tank, the only way you fail on it isn't unless if you're facing a lot of tier 5s, 4s, or if you get taken out very early. But I've had matches in this. I've only played it maybe like 10 times in however long I've been able to play tanks like this. I've only been in basically a few tier 5 matches, but I have done pretty well in tier 5 matches just by swapping over to APCR and either focusing on non-heavy tanks or their flanks. But it's a fun tank and just wanted to show it to you guys. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website, wotguru.com.